Well, as you saw there, 12 Democratic candidates took the stage and they made a lot of big claims. But how many of them were true? You know what that means. Jane Timm is here to help us separate fact from fiction. Thanks so much, Jane. All right, let's start with the back and forth between Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Let's take a look.
So you started this question with how you got something done. You know, following the financial crash of 2008, I had an idea for a consumer agency that would keep giant banks from cheating people. And all of the Washington insiders and strategic geniuses said, don't even try, because you will never get it passed.
I agreed with, she referenced me. Okay. I agreed with the great job she did. And I went on the floor and got you votes. I got votes for that bill. I convinced people to vote for it. So let's get those things straight, too.
I am deeply grateful to President Obama, who fought so hard to make sure that agency was passed into law. And I am deeply grateful to every single person who fought for it.
All right, Jane, what was that about? Did Biden help her get the CFPB off the ground?
The CFPB was put into law by Dodd-Frank Act. The New York Times called Dodd, they called Frank, and they said, we really don't remember him being a really big part of this. Of course, he supported the bill. It was a huge legislative agenda for President Obama. He was a big supporter of legislative as the vice president, but he wasn't getting votes on the floor the way we have heard from other people, as they remember it. If he wants to point a couple of people whose minds he changed towards us, we'd love to talk to them. But this was truly Elizabeth Warren's baby. It is the reason she is in politics. She created this as a scholar at Harvard professor, said, I think we need to make this. She got it pushed into law. She lobbied for it. She got passed over to run it and therefore ran for Senate because she got passed over for it. It is her genesis story, and he's kind of needling in on it. And you know what? I'm not really seeing the backup for it.
All right, and this one he needs to back it up just a little bit, it sounds like. Jane, let's go to Andrew Yang. He had a moment early on in the debate where he spoke about a staggering number of manufacturing jobs lost. Let's take a look.
The truth is that what happened to the 4 million manufacturing workers here in Ohio and Michigan and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and Iowa did not care about our political party. The fourth industrial revolution is now migrating from manufacturing workers to retail, call centers, transportation, as well as to white-collar workers like attorneys, pharmacists, and radiologists. It does not care about our party.
Does the information there hold up?
The guy with the math pin needs to check his math.
Oh, no.
This is getting under my skin because I've checked this multiple times before. We've gone through and looked at the job losses in manufacturing by state. Adds up to about 1,000,009. The country during the period he referenced lost 5 million jobs. 4 million of them were not in 5 states. That would have been a totally different story. And he needs to get the numbers right because he's citing very specific stats that just don't add up. And you can't wear that pin without getting me to fact check you.
No, you're bringing an important point. You're wearing a pin that says math. You better have your numbers straight. All right, last one. There was a question on gun reform last night. Biden used the moment to talk about his history with taking on the NRA. Let's watch it.
I'm the only one on this stage who has taken on the NRA and beat them twice. We were able to get assault weapons off the streets and not be able to be sold for 10 years. Recent studies show that mass violence went down when that occurred.
Truth or fiction here, Jane? I can tell by your face something's not right.
When you look at Joe Biden's career, he's been in politics so long that it was probably true at some point. And this is one where it was true at some point. He has taken on the NRA. He did get an assault rifle ban years ago. But his critics say, look, he couldn't get it done in 2012 when he was the vice president. And Obama said, go out there after Sandy Hook and try and get something passed. And the Obama administration really struggled to get any kind of legislation through. So you know what? I think he has both able to say, look, I did something really good, and by his own view, and I did something where I couldn't get it done. So I think he's got a little bit of each, but he definitely has taken on the NRA successfully, sometimes not so successfully other times.
Jane Timm, our resident fact checker, thank you so much.
Thanks, Allison.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.